Hey, what's up, folks? This is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. Well, I'm back with you for your weekly update, this time on a Saturday because I actually just got a new computer. So unfortunately, I couldn't do my update yesterday like I normally do, but I was able to get it done today for you in a weekly recap of everything that's going on with Jasmy. I've got all that covered, as well as we're going to be taking a look at the chart, and I think you'll see that my new computer is like light years ahead of my old one in terms of the content here, so hopefully that's a lot better for today's video. So if you enjoyed today's video, as always, make sure to hit the like button. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post time-sensitive content just like this. And now, let's get it going. Okay, check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. What is up, everybody? Good to be with you on this Saturday instead of Friday. I actually posted on Twitter that I got a new computer finally. So I've had the same iMac for a long time. The actual year on it was 2009. And at the time that I originally bought it, it was brand new. It was like the best of the best. Got a lot of longevity out of it, but holy cow, you know, the software programs, everything advanced way beyond it, and the thing was really kind of turning into a dinosaur. And so I finally got a new computer here, and so that's what I was doing yesterday, and that's why I didn't get you your weekly update on Friday. So coming at you with it on Saturday. So we're going to kick it off here at the feed. First thing, the Jasmy Spaces call from last week. We actually had a very good call. If you don't follow those, or if you haven't heard of them, you're new to Jasmy. Jasmy US hosts those on Twitter, and you can either listen in live or you can call in later, depending on where you're at around the world. For me personally, I am in Eastern Time Zone US, so it's at 5:30 for me. So just equate that to wherever you are if you want to try and catch it live. We always have a lot of good speakers, really good info, and we answer a lot of questions on that call, so keep an eye out for that. Now, from the call, we've got this post here from Jasmy US on the 9th. What I would like to see from Hara in January or February. So this is sort of like a wish list, right? Number one, Jasmy.global update website clarifications. So for anybody who has been following Jasmy or is new to Jasmy, there's a few different websites. And one of them that had come about after the original one was this Jasmy.global. And that website in particular tied back somehow through a roundabout way to an original Jasmy investor slash owner, potentially, of the project. It appears that that person or party may no longer be involved with Jasmy. And they were also tied into the Jasmy League. And so both of those have sort of gone dark at this point. And so Jasmy.global, there's not really anything there. The site is down. And so a lot of people are kind of wondering what's going on with that particular site. In my view, I think they're simply sunsetting it. And if you look at the regular Jasmy website, that one's gotten better and better and better. And really, that's where all the main information is anyways. So I would direct anybody to the main Jasmy Japanese website. That is also in English. All right. Now, number 2 on the wish list was a 2023 roadmap. We haven't seen anything for this yet, so definitely would like to see a roadmap in terms of upcoming goals for the next 4 quarters here, with everything that's happening, as well as the tax laws look to be changing in Japan in April, and that's technically the start of their first quarter. All right. Number 3, we got specifications for companies holding Jasmy percent and how long. This is something we talked about on the call that I'd really like to know, because this is where the value in Jasmy comes, is in the companies holding the token, locking up the token. That takes it out of the supply. Less supply, the price should go up, right? So I would like to see that number posted somewhere of roughly how many Jasmy coins are being held by companies, right? Participating businesses. That would go a long way. And number 4, Jasmy US mentioned the ecosystem or wallet update. So like and retweet if you agree, Jasmy Spaces, right? Now, moving on up from there, I had this post on January 9th. Kathy Wood is saying the Bitcoin bottom is in. Gala is up 40%. Fetch and AI coins are way up. Jasmy 2050-day EMAs are on the verge of going bullish. And so if we zoom in here, what I'm talking about is this red line. That's an EMA. That's a 20-day. The 50-day is this green line that's drifting down. The moment they cross and the red line goes above, that is a bullish cross. So that was sort of in the works here all the way back on the 9th, and today is the 14th. Moving on up. So I actually did some charting over this past week. Haven't done that in a little while. And now that I've got this new computer, I think I'm going to be able to do a heck of a lot more. So that's pretty exciting. But this was a very relevant post here from Fat Panda Frank. So Fat Panda Frank is one of the mods at the Jasmy International Discord. And he mentioned that the Jasmy wallet associated with the Jasmy Foundation has been completely liquidated. Now, I think this may correspond directly to the jasmy.global site going down. I think those two are related, basically. So pretty interesting here that Fat Panda Frank saw that and posted it. So big shout out for putting that out there. Thought this post was really cool from Payman. So my chat with you.com AI about Jasmy. And I said, AI has Jasmy figured out to you. Now, this is pretty interesting. So he asked the AI, what do you think about Jasmy coin? And here's what it had to say. So it says, I think Jasmy coin is an interesting project with a lot of potential. It is built on the Ethereum blockchain and is designed to allow users to control the data they share, as well as to reward users for sharing their data and information. The users of the Jasmy IoT devices are rewarded with Jasmy coin tokens for sharing their data and information. Additionally, manufacturers and developers can use the tokens to monetize their products and services. With the increasing trend of data sharing, Jasmy coin could be a valuable asset in the near future. And that has a link to Coinbase. So pretty interesting that it managed to find all that and put that together. You know, the whole AI thing is coming a long way, and there's been a lot of AI related cryptocurrencies that have really been pumping lately. Fetch being one of them. There's some others out there. Ocean's one. What is it? I think it's like NGIX is another one. There's quite a few of them that are out there. So anyway, they've been really on fire lately in the market. Now, outside of that, we did have this post also that Jasmy is going to XT Exchange. So it is being posted there. Jasmy USDT perpetual contract on XT. So this is basically like another exchange listing. We haven't had one of those in quite a while because we had so many of them up front. Moving forward, we had a really good post from Brian about the Shinshu IT Valley project proposal concept that Kunitake Ando is heavily involved with. And what this is basically it's Kunitake Ando's vision of Silicon Valley in Japan. And so looking at this, it's collaboration with industry, academia, government, and private sector. Again, this is what they do in Japan to try and make these things a reality. And it's a strategic planning proposal and operation for the realization of the Shinshu IT Valley concept. Now, we found an AMA in 2018 where Ando was talking about that Japan had nothing on par with Silicon Valley, and he thought they needed that. He also mentioned he didn't think that Japan had a tier one tech company, something on par with, like, let's say, Apple. Now, you could argue, in my view, that I think Sony is probably a tier one tech company. It's at least close to it, but maybe it doesn't have the value that Apple does, per se. So, anyways, Brian had this post here. Totally awesome. Consulting for launching new business using advanced technology, demonstration experiment for new business idea using advanced technology. This is like an IT valley of the future, a Silicon Valley for Japan. And this is laying the groundwork, is what it is, right? So moving forward, the officers for this project, sure enough, there is Ando, right? President, University of Nagano. We also have director here, the executive vice president of BJIT. This is the other IT consulting firm that Ando is tied to, that Sato is tied to. as well as all those other connections that we made in our video last week with Qualcomm, with Sony, with Honda, yada, 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 right? So very interesting that he is also a part of this. And then moving forward, it just says General Incorporated Association Nagano IT Collaboration Platform consists of 5 members: business members, IT members, advisory board, IT Human Resource Development Subcommittee, and Nico Labco Limited. So really awesome post there by Brian putting that all together. I thought that was just fantastic, right? Now, moving up, this ties into our Jasmy Spaces call. Zippy will be back on the calls starting this week. He has not been on the calls over the last couple of weeks. For those who don't know Zippy, he's kind of the filter. So if you have any questions whatsoever for any of us influencers on the call, and you want us to talk about them, funnel all those questions to Zippy, he'll propose them to the group and we can talk through them. All right. So no questions ever off the board. Just send it on over his way and he can get it up to us. Moving up from there, we also had the CPI numbers come out this past week. Now, the CPI number basically hit the exact target they thought it was going to hit, which was 6.5%. It hit dead on the money, which is trending in the right direction down. So the way I see it, if CPI can continue to trend down, especially towards the summer, 2023 could really heat up in the world markets. So really looking forward to that. I think that's really exciting. We had a post from Jasmy US 17 hours ago, basically just reminding everybody of this Sunday's space. So check that out, like I said, if you get the chance. I also mentioned here, this was actually this morning. Like I said, I spent yesterday working on my computer. And a little chart action here, you can see the EMAs look like we're about to have a bullish cross on the Jasmy chart. And I'll take you over to the live one in just a second, but just want to continue to roll up through the feed here first. We've also got, here's another post from Jasmy US. He had a lot of posts this week. So the crypto pump cycle order: Bitcoin first, Ethereum next, high cap alts, mid caps, low caps, and that this is just a taste of what is to come in the next bull run. Utility and quality tech will be the winner. I agree, right? I posted earlier about our hodlers, right? Mount Jasmy keeps on going up. We're up to 42,643. So the numbers keep on climbing. So that's really good. I also posted this one, thought this was kind of funny, that you can never underestimate the power of FOMO. You're missing out, right? And the reason I put this out there was that it's interesting on CT crypto Twitter. If you read all the posts, half of the posts were saying, this is a bull trap and, we're still going lower, we're going to an $8,000 Bitcoin, whatever. And then the other half are like, no, we're going straight to the moon. Everything's amazing. This is the greatest day of my life. And, the truth is usually kind of somewhere around the middle, right? So we're definitely having a run. It looks to be a legitimate run. That's all good. I don't really see all the bearishness when I look at this, right? Now, moving up from there, I also posted the Bitcoin rainbow chart, and I mentioned that it's recorded this pump, and it's gone from basically a fire sale to buy. So the question is, do we follow the rally of 2012 to 2013, the rally of 2015 to 2016, or 2019 to 2020? What's your take? And so if we zoom in on this, this is the rainbow chart right here, and you can see through the years, it's very cyclical. It spikes one or two times, it drops, spikes one or two times, it drops, spikes two times, drops. And so far in this cycle, we've really kind of just had this sort of one main spike, you could say. I mean, you could argue maybe this is sort of like two, but not really. It's really just kind of one main spike. So we haven't had that second spike yet. And so with where we're at right now, do we follow the patterns back here in 2012? Do we follow the pattern in 2015, or do we follow the pattern in 2019 and really go on a little run here? Me personally, I'm leaning more towards the 2019 because I think there's been a lot of pent up, investors that have probably just been frustrated over 2022. 2022 is the worst year ever for probably any of our lives in investing. The whole year, everything went down, right? But what goes down must come up, and that means 2023 could be poised for a big rebound, right? Now, moving on from there, this is the last thing I wanted to share here in the main feed because I think this is pretty funny. From Rager, never forget thanks again, Kramer. So, for those who don't know, Jim Kramer, he hosts his show on, I think was it MSNBC? He hosts his show, and no, sorry, CNBC. There we go. He hosts a show, and basically, whenever Kramer gives you any kind of, I think it's going to do this, the market does the opposite, right? Doesn't matter what it is. And so the hilarious thing was he did it again here. And this was on January 9th, where he says, good chance again to get out of crypto and scale out of Chinese stocks as neither can be trusted. And since that point, look at the value. It's gone way up. So again, there's a lot of people that joke about this, but it's kind of like if you just traded or invested almost like opposite of Jim Cramer, you'd probably do just fine, right? So pretty hilarious. Now, I did want to go over to the chart here and kind of show you what I'm seeing here in the Jasmy chart. So first of all, looking down here at the market cipher, we've got the trigger wave going on right now. So that's pretty awesome right there. And let me kind of show you what this looks like. I'll make it so we can check that out. Like I said, my new computer here has really come a long way from the last one in terms of what I can do with it and how fast I can do it. So if you're looking here at the trigger waves, you can kind of see what happened. That we had a bottoming out basically all the way back here. This was December 20th or so. And then we had the trigger form on the 31st. Okay. And so that basically is an indicator of momentum. And so you can see from there, the momentum is really taken off, right? So that's very awesome. It's good to see. Looking in terms of the levels of where we're at and where we've been going, I mean, look at this. We're sort of in a uncharted territory of actually going in an upward direction. Now, in terms of the RSI, we're a little bit on the overbought side, but that's really okay because we've been so low for so long. So it's okay if we stay up here for a little while. Now, if we kind of, zoom in on this, or actually, let me zoom out. Let me do that. So if I take this chart here and I zoom it out a little bit, you can kind of see where we're at overall, right? And you can see this sort of general downward trend, and then we finally broke out of it. Now, the thing that I like to look at is I like to look at the EMAs. So this blue line that's coming down here, this is the 200-day. The green line down here is the 50, and the red line is the 20-day. And so when we're looking at EMAs, the closer they get together, the higher the chance are of them switching bullish, right? And if I zoom in real close here, you'll be able to see that basically the green line and the red line right here are right on the verge of crossing. That is a bullish cross that could take us even further upward. So it's really kind of exciting to see, how much higher we could go right now. If we get into this next area here, I mean, the next resistance is all the way up here, basically 0.006. So Jasmy has just been on an absolute tear lately. I really wanted to kind of highlight that in the video. Now, in terms of me personally, I've been DCing into Jasmy all the way back since November of 21, right? Just daily, I just kind of do a little bit here and there. And I really follow I follow the more of a macro picture, the overall trends. Now, what's really positive when you're looking at this is look at our volume, right? We've had some massive green volume bars right here. Some big time buying's been going on. A lot of people have been picking up Jasmy. There's a lot of watchers on Jasmy overall. A lot of people see this one as being, one of the big coins of the future, being a top 50 crypto, top 25 crypto. It could definitely happen as long as it just keeps on trending in the right direction, right? So huge movement here. But it's not just Jasmy. I mean, the overall market has seemed to really kind of turn a corner all of a sudden. So it's very exciting. It kind of takes me back years into the crypto market of like, oh yeah, this is what it's like when the market goes up. Because this last year was just so depressing. But again, I mean, look at the opportunity that created. So the funny thing is, later when this market takes off, people will be looking back at 2022 going, gosh, if you had invested in 2022, here's what it would be worth today, right? You're going to be seeing a lot of those kinds of things coming out. And so overall, like I said, I just kind of keep an eye on the EMAs in particular. So we still got a ways before this blue line way up here and these green and red ones cross the blue, right? So my original prediction on that was roughly summertime. Now, it could come sooner than that, depending on what happens in this current spell here. But if you really kind of zoom the chart out, you can see this is basically what it looks like. So we're getting down here. As soon as these get in line, that increases the chance of a golden cross, and we go, big time bullish. So a lot of potential here, a lot of excitement. Really exciting week to finally see crypto start to wake up. It's a new year. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, and I'm feeling good. All right, so let's wrap up today's video with some final thoughts. So probably two main things to talk about in this week's video. The one would be that post by Brian about the Shinshu IT Valley. So this is basically the idea of a Silicon Valley in Japan, the plans, the preparation, everything that goes into sort of this master plan idea for something that in the future could possibly compete with Silicon Valley. That is absolutely huge. And lo and behold, who is one of the key parties in it, who's instrumental in the development of that project? Kunitake Ando, who is also one of the key parties who's instrumental in the development of Jasmy, right? So he is absolutely everywhere, Ando is. It's just crazy. And, when Brian connects those dots like that, you can really see how connected Ando is and how big this could be. Now, something else that I had seen, which I'm not sure if maybe it was in my replies. I don't think I covered it earlier. Houston did a post in particular where he had shared Japan talking about mobility as a service and drones. And in particular, Jasmy has been involved with both in regards to with Honda and WITS. They were involved with the mobility as a service. And with the drones, I want to say it was maybe towards the early end of last year, they actually did a drone show with the Jasmy logo in it. So I didn't cover that earlier, but that was still really awesome as well. Okay, so really, I guess there's three things in this final thought. So definitely those first two are really important. The third, the bull run, right? I mean, a lot of people didn't really see this coming, this big run that's happening right now. But for the most part, it kind of appears to be legit. So I'm not really sure what entirely is waking up the market other than, honestly, this market was asleep for an entire year. So maybe it's just that it's a new year, right? Things are turning around and, it's going to come roaring back, okay? I have had doubters, hecklers, smirkers, just about anybody you could think of. When I tell them about crypto, they all kind of, really? They kind of do that thing. We'll see who has the last laugh here. I'll leave it at that, all right? And so finally, I would just like to say that, as I mentioned earlier, now that I finally have this new computer, which, by the way, is right there, it's an absolute beast, I can start doing a lot more with content now in terms of interviews, live streams, all those things. Believe it or not, I actually could not do any of those types of videos before, and it was because of the computer. So my computer dated back to 2009, and I know that's going to get a lot of laughs, I get it, But overall, it still kind of did what I wanted it to do, and back in 2009 when I bought it, it was like the best of the best. So it had a lot of longevity. The problem, though, was that 10 plus years later, all the software was going way beyond it, and it was really becoming obsolete. And so now that I got this new computer, I think we can do a lot more here with the channel, so I'm really excited about that for 2023. All right? So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget that I'm also on Twitter at KIR Finance, where you can find me tweeting and retweeting. Check me out there. We've also got a Patreon page. You can support the channel there if you want. I got a merch shop. I got a website. I got all that stuff. If you want to check it out, have at it. I've got the AMA with Hara posted on the website if you got any questions about that. Or if you got any questions in general, always feel free to reach out to me, usually on somewhere like Twitter, and I'll try to get back to you. All right? So lastly, for a friendly reminder, as always, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, channel that always is your back, tells it like it is, and I will see you on the next one. Later.